Have a good drive.
Have a great drive.
Have a great drive with Kyeezi. Only on Good Hope FM.
All right, man. These guys are no strangers to your stereo, to your car, to your brides, to your weddings. Wait, I could make a list, actually. Chad Saaiman, Jimmy Nevis. I could make a whole list. You guys are no strangers to Cape Town. You guys are the sound of Cape Town. I'm actually going to say that.
Oh, come on.
Chad Saaiman here, Jimmy Nevis.
Good
How you, bro?
afternoon.
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Chad. What's up?
All good, man.
Wow, guys, really?
You know, people think you make a song, they think you live together. Or like, where's Jimmy? I'm going to get that question for the next few weeks. Where's Jimmy?
Jimmy, it's your first time on the Great Drive.
Is it?
It's your first time here, I think.
That's wild.
Wow.
It's his first time here.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going through like all the years. I'm like, we've never
Why?
had you here. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's management, if you're tuned in,
Yo.
what 071-286-0639. Explain why. But it's great to have you here. It's great that you are still making music, Chad. I see you every other day.
Yeah.
I know that you're making music.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you're one of those artists in Cape Town. We're super happy when we see the name Jimmy Nevis on some sort of a graphic, because it means that you're still being creative. How have you been, bro? Because you're a very low key guy.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm good. Yeah, I'm solid, man. I'm like, just been enjoying. I think this year has been like really amazing in terms of being able to collab with friends, collab with people that I've known for many years, people that inspire me. And it's also just been a nice year of like, I think, digging into some of the music I make outside of my own projects.
Okay.
You know, there's many other things that I'm involved in, other passion projects that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
And it's hard to not be inspired by all these different facets and kind of bring them into, you know. So, I mean, it's been dope. It's been a great creative year. And I can't believe it's November, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting old. All of us.
Sure.
All of. Listen, you know, in the spirit of R&B, soul, future soul, there's a new wave of R&B, future soul. Do you think the world is ready for the new wave of R&B? I really want to ask you two this, because you guys are key vocalists, both of you, Chad and Jimmy. You live in the vocal world where your vocal ability is that thing. Do you think the world is ready for new R&B artists? Because if you go anywhere in Cape Town, I can almost guarantee everybody always rants and raves about the old school.
Yeah.
Do you think people are receiving new R&B?
I think certain people are, and I think people who appreciate music, people who get a bit deeper and who are open to it, they certainly take it in. And then I think there are people who don't bother with it. I think there's a space for both of them.
Yeah, also I sometimes kind of like that it feels slightly underground or like niche to kind of like follow certain artists and stuff. I mean, I have my own event called The Hot Box.
Yes.
And like,
well done, by the way.
Thank you, man. But aside from having like, I mean, established artists, there's also people that you are following and you're watching them and you're like, you just know deep down this person's about to blow up. But meanwhile, if you go to their shows, they have like a cult following. They have people like lining up down the door, and just, you know, the commercial world maybe doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's what makes it so cool, you know? Like, if you know, you know.
Absolutely. And I think Langa Mavusa is an example of it, as well as Manana. I've been to shows where they've either been on a show of mine, or we've shared a stage where everyone in the audience knows each and every word of every song.
Yeah.
And it's almost spiritual.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, though, bro.
Yeah.
Question: with the new wave of R&B, and I'm so happy I have you two here because you guys can answer this perfectly.
Yeah.
Historically, when you think of R&B and soul music, it's vocally driven music, meaning that you have to be extremely talented vocally. You're supposed to hit these notes that are absolutely insane. You're supposed to have a bit of Whitney Houston in you, a little bit of Mariah Carey, a little bit of Joe. And do you think there has been a shift now where there's sort of a balance of vocal ability as well as songwriting ability as well as performance ability? If you were to take an artist now in 2024 out of 100 and you had to break down all of these facets, which ones would you say are the most important?
Okay, I think, Jimmy, you can start with this one.
It's a tough question because times have changed.
I don't think vocal ability is like the biggest thing anymore. I mean, if you got it, it's amazing, right? but in the same, you're not like pressured to hit whistle technique or hit the super high note on the bridge.
Okay.
If you want,
Yeah.
it's kind of like what you want to do.
I mean, I've always felt like swag is like important. 'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
there's like not many people have that. You know,
Ooh.
like they can sing and stuff, but they just don't have the thing that's making you wanna like, you know.
Listen to them.
Yeah, so I feel like, but you know, at the same time, as you were asking like 5 questions in one over there,
Yeah.
I was also just thinking like we're living in a time where like the top 100 of anything doesn't exist. You know, people have their own top 100, and so many things are existing in almost in the same league at the same time to different people.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about vocal ability, I mean, Yeba is like an artist
Yeah,
that I would
yeah.
say is like insane. But then you also have like, I guess just other R&B cats and whatever that are like creating their own subgenres and doing their own things, which I think
Okay.
is fire.
Yeah.
You know? I'm also, you know, because I produce and I songwrite and whatever. For me, I'm listening to production.
Okay.
I feel like production is a good way to really understand R&B music. And I think, you know, like, I mean, obviously Bruno Mars, he's like all of those things, but his production, I think, is what's really like,
Is Bruno your guy?
you know, I think he's undeniable, man. Like, I don't think he's anybody's, like, you don't choose Bruno, you know, he's just there. He's like, you know, we all grew up to those songs that we don't know how we know them.
Yeah.
I feel like Bruno is one of those artists in today's world where it's like, it's not about whether you like him or not. You are buying the ticket, you're supporting the concert.
Yeah.
And I think it's because his talent is just so, like, uniquely him in a space and in a world that tries to cheapen and, like, you know, just like take away the talent of, like, you know, what people do out there and music in general. I feel like he just makes everything sound expensive, and I love that.
I love that, man. I love the level of detail you talk about with regards to all the different subgenres within R&B, right? Because my next question was going to be, and me and Chad have had this debate, and I know Chad's going to have a bit of to say here before we get to the headlines. And yes, by the way, they have a brand new single, but we're just talking music. now.
Yeah.
We're talking music. What is the difference between soul and R&B music?
You know, as I always say, they intertwine, man. I think there's times where they cross. But soul for me is broken down into, you got your neo soul, you got your new soul, and then you just have your straight up kind of, you know, more old school cyclic. Like if you think of, what's the song, Can I Call You Rose from These Sacred
Yeah.
Souls?
Okay.
That's your old school soul. And you got new soul with some of the new cats coming through, like Daniel Caesar and all
Yes.
those things. And then you got like your neo soul from like Music Soul Child and Erykah
Right.
Badu. So I don't always think it's a direct sound.
Okay.
I think it's a feeling that crosses over.
Yeah.
And I guess in myself and Jimmy were having a chat yesterday, and we heard a song, and Jimmy was like, "Man, I would have changed a snare on that song,
Okay.
you know, and make it harder." And I think with soul versus R&B, little elements like that can make changes, like a fatter kick or a harder snare or a different kind of chord. But yeah, man, I think soul has more feeling also.
All right.
Yeah. I was gonna just say that I feel like R&B is smooth and soul is raw.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Amy Winehouse
Yeah.
is soul.
But she's
Yeah.
not R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's soul.
I feel like there's a rawness that comes with
Yeah.
soul music that like, it's also sometimes like almost a little imperfect, and it just hits you in like, you know, like you look at like a Nina Simone or like a, you know, there's some artists there that like technically maybe weren't the greatest vocalist, but like
Macy Gray, for instance.
100%,
Feeling.
there's
Feeling.
something
Yes.
there that you can't.
The tone.
There's an
The
X
raspiness.
factor,
Yes.
yeah, you know, and
That's
I feel
crazy.
like that to me is soul music.
Beautiful, man. Jimmy Nevis and Chad Saaiman here. They have a brand new single. It's called 2K. You're going to be hearing it exclusively here. And we're still going to find out about the journey, about how they found themselves together on a track, finally. You are catching an exclusive conversation that we're having with Jimmy Nevis and Chad Saaiman in studio. Chad, you're working overtime today. You still got a show.
I do, man.
You still got a show.
But isn't that beautiful?
Nah?
Isn't that beautiful?
Working overtime.
Yeah, man.
At the
The
end of the
facets.
month, just pay me a little something, just in Jane, eh?
Yeah.
Chad is sitting in all the chairs here
Yeah.
in the studio.
I'm just playing a game.
Absolutely.
Playing a game.
Jimmy Nevis and Chad Saaiman, 2K. Hold on. Have you guys ever collaborated on a song before together?
No, this is
No,
the first time.
Hold on. How many years in the game, Chad, now?
Since my first song,
Yeah.
17.
Jimmy?
Mine is like 12 or
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying in 15 years,
Yeah.
at no point did you go, man, Jimmy, we should make a song.
I tried.
So what happened this time? What happened this time?
No. It's, the thing is, they never feels like a good time to be doing certain stuff. I mean, I know for me, I would say the first 5 years of my career, I think establishing my own sound and my own thing and having my own ideas and that kind of stuff was like overly important to me. You know?
Yeah.
But I think that there's also like a time and place, and now's the right time. And I feel like, we've been friends for many years, and I know Chad's been alongside my career and vice versa. I mean, my first job shadowing experience in grade 11 was with Stereotype Records, and that's when I saw Chad in the studio, and I was like, oh, yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
and I
we
still
were-
tried to send him demos and stuff. And I
Oh,
was
wait,
like,
so the actual
Mr.
story
Madam,
is,
was it-
yeah,
I'm not going to give you a song because you didn't like my demos.
that's
Yeah.
the real story. Yeah,
No, but look here, like, let me be said, like, I love the demo.
yeah.
It was one of my business partners who was like, they didn't get it, and I was like,
Lies.
I was like,
Lies.
I was like, this artist,
this
CD.
I want to look. Where's the
Listen,
camera in
man.
studio? Camera in studio. Chad Saaiman rejected Jimmy Nevis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lies, guys. I said yes. One of my business partners said like they didn't get it, and I was like,
Yeah.
this guy's gonna blow up, and boom.
He blew up.
I totally forgot about it was at Mr. Malum's
Blew up.
studio,
I
wasn't
think
it?
it was Mr. Malum studio.
Yeah.
And it was also like the whole Stereotype crew was there. It
Yeah.
was like the other artists as well.
Yeah, we had a big team.
There was a whole team, and everyone was just cool all the time. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, just going to the summers every other year, like
Yeah.
it was, and it's funny because that time was, for us, we were just figuring things out. We had no direct blueprint of how to do this.
Absolutely.
But because we had power in numbers and we had a businessman with a designer and a producer and a songwriter and guinea pig artist, we could try all these things, and I think it just opened up the door for the next one and the next one, and then eventually we all came together, and yeah, man. So we're coming on a long time, but yeah, I love the demo.
I love how you actually
Demos.
Chad explained it. On that demo was Elephant Shoes there.
No.
No.
That was a little bit before that time. I was still in high school, but it was like there was some songs there that was, I think could maybe have worked on radio. I mean, there was also some that definitely couldn't.
Yeah.
I had a very ambitious track on there also for Judas Apuma. I was like writing for other artists in mind, and I was just I'm just gonna cover all genres.
It's beautiful.
There's like pop, there's like
give you a bit of
R&B, there's
everything.
like
bit
light
of everything.
jazz.
Yeah.
Also, I was making some electro stuff back then because
Okay.
this was like 2008,
Crazy.
everything
Yeah.
was just dance, it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was a weird time, so like
Yeah.
it was a lot of synths.
All right.
But what a cool process, man. Also, funny story for all the producers listening out there. I used to use obviously a lot of crack. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of crack
Jimmy,
versions.
I'm so happy you corrected yourself. When he says crack, he's talking about cracked versions of,
bootleg
Yeah.
versions,
of bootleg versions
Yeah.
of software, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crack is whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
No
once
Whitney
said.
Houston action. Yeah.
100%. But I used to use a lot of the crack versions of the software, right?
Yeah.
And I think on some of those demos, because of like auto-tune and stuff, I mean, I didn't know how to even buy it. I had my own little makeshift home studio, and my voice would just fade in and out. So like for a solid like 30 seconds, my voice just fades out.
Oh,
And then there's just music, and then my voice would come back
come
for a
back
while.
in,
And it's
yeah.
like, cool, that's the chorus. Yeah.
the hustle.
Yeah, man.
Now we're in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, Chad, you made the call. Jimmy, you made the call. Who made the
I
call?
made the call to Jimmy.
Yeah.
You made the call and you said, Jimmy, I've got an idea.
Well, I actually don't remember. I think it was more a case of, Jimmy, I got a song. I'd love for you to be on it. It's special to me. It means this, this, and this. You're the perfect person. I hope you like it.
And Jimmy,
Yeah.
you said?
I was like, I don't know, man.
It was payback. Payback.
But eventually,
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. I think the story behind the song is, I mean, it's a lot more personal, I think, for Chad. But I think what's cool is that we were able to kind of find the medium. And it's a cool track, man. I think from a production point of view, we have Shani J on production.
Come on, Shani.
And I think just also like getting to be part of, a new EP and some new music that Chad's putting out. I've heard some of the songs, like, I just like the direction, and I think it's really cool. Yeah, I hope people enjoy it.
Absolutely,
man.
It is on the way.
Thank you.
Chad, I don't know why you sent me the lyrics because I'm not going to sing. All right, I'm going to play the song.
Yeah, it's karaoke time, man.
Spoken word.
I'm like, why is Chad sending me lyrics? But you know what? It's going to be coming up right after these.
It's over, but I am still healing. I'm still healing.
Chad, Saaiman, Jimmy Nevis, brand new. It's an exclusive right here on The Great Drive.
This is an exclusive only on The Great Drive.
Woo! Chad, Jimmy, I'm so glad you guys waited. I'm so glad you guys waited. You know when you can hear the maturity of musicians in their music?
Yeah.
You know you can hear the maturity, like, these guys know who they are.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know what they can do. We don't have to put too much sauce on the meat. We're going to
Yeah.
let the music do the talking. And that's what I feel with 2K. Beautiful track, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
I feel like it's just like it's such a natural kind of space that it lives in.
Yeah.
Yo.
And what was really cool, I loved writing my verse on it, and it was like really simple as well. Because even though it's about heartbreak, I think it has many layers to it.
Yeah.
And there's some really great lyrics in there as well. So
I
I
think
encourage
so.
people to like
Dig
you know,
in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dig
get
in.
into it, man. I think there's a lot of lines in the song that people will pick up and on the listening journey.
Yeah.
And I think, we spoke about this the other day. Heartbreak doesn't exist in one form. So the song was created from a particular moment, and it was then taken into other moments. And, we've all experienced heartbreak and loss, and whether it's with friends or family or,
Man, I felt that.
romantic partners or...
I felt that, bro.
But now that you mention R&B and vocals, I think and now that I listened to it after you said that, I think we know what we're doing.
You guys know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, man.
There's a reason I think you guys are regarded as Cape Town entertainment giants. I'm not saying that because you're on the show. It's just one of those things where you can hear the maturity. You can hear that these guys came into studio and they didn't say this is a Jimmy Nevis and Chad Saaiman song. They said
Yeah.
we're going to make a great song.
Yeah.
No, 100%, man. I think also I don't know, making the song for a specific thing, I think is long gone.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think there's formulas that really work these days. I think it's really about what's most authentic to you.
Yeah.
And what makes you move in a particular time, I feel like this also just captures this time. So.
Yeah, and I think trusting yourself to know that you're making it for what you think is good for you in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think when you start that, you maybe don't trust yourself as much, so you start to think that there's a way to do things. And I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It's some grown folk R&B.
I got some comments that came through on that WhatsApp line. Let's have a listen.
What the heck? That's an absolute banger.
We don't have to put too
Well done, Jimmy and Chad. Awesome stuff, bros.
That's
Thank
coming
you.
from John Black on the WhatsApp line 0712860639.
Yo. Chad and Jimmy. That song is Annie Brand, man, bro. It's Annie Brand's birth.
Thank you, bro.
Nah, it's a nice song. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can't wait to download it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
And
man.
Chad, this is your year, sir.
Thank you,
Got
sir.
married, Dropping some
Yo.
nice music. This is your year, sir.
Yes, sir. I claim it, man.
Wow, Kyeezi. Sure, that's a dope track, man. This is world class. Well done to Chad and Jimmy. Wow, guys, you're so talented, eh? I love the song so much. Thank you for sharing your talent and your hearts, eh, to us
Oh, man.
listeners.
Thank you, man.
Really dig the song, man.
Thanks, bro.
World class.
Thank you.
World class, they're calling it.
Thank you.
You know what, man? I'm going to go ahead and do this right now.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when it's good, you got to
Come
do it
on.
again.
Come on.
Hey,
This is The Great Drive. Jimmy, thank you for coming into studio.
Thank you, my
Yeah.
man.
Chad Saaiman, we'll see
Thank
you a little bit later.
The song is out tomorrow. People should go get it, go stream it, go listen. It's out everywhere.
Absolutely, man. 2K, Chad Saaiman, Jimmy Nevis right here on The Great Drive. You're hearing it as an exclusive. Come through with the love, show them love. It's out at midnight. Ooh, What a banger. It's definitely an exclusive.
This is an exclusive only on The Great Drive.
It's on my mind, on repeat, every time.